Thanks, Scott. Now that we've heard from 4 different critical approaches on everyday use, let's talk about what we've seen from the dialogue between critics.
That's a great idea, Jen. Why don't we invite Scott and Becky back out to join our discussion?
Great.
Thanks, Scott, Becky, for sitting down with us.
Oh, no problem.
So, I just want to ask, what are some of the most common critical problems or issues that come up again and again in the criticism, and what passages or events and scenes that critics argue about, and what are the most common opinions?
You know, one of the most important scenes in the story seems to be the quilt scene when Mama gives the quilt to Maggie instead of Dee.
Yeah, that seems to be the climax of the story, where Mama finally gains her voice.
Yeah, a lot of critics will debate on, well, is she becoming empowered at this point, or is she just, what is she doing? She's, she's making a stand against one daughter to support the other, or some critics see it that she's, see it differently.
Well, Sam Whitsitt argues that Mama gives Maggie the quilts in order to put it back into the economy, while Dee would just put it on a wall and just make it, that's it, that's the end of the quilts, is that.
It would just be,
That's
it would just be there to be seen.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
look, that's pretty.
and also, he mentions how Maggie says, oh, I can remember Grandma without the quilts.
Still contributing to the economy that way, because she
Yeah,
can make
well,
them herself
yeah.
even.
And also, because of that, because she remembers her grandmother, she can just give them away. Like, she doesn't need the quilts, so it makes it more economically viable.
Which really brings into play the question of heritage that also seems to come up all the time. Like, how are they representing their heritage?
And which daughter has it right? Like, if their heritage is meant to be put on the wall, or if it's just meant to be used every day, like Maggie would, or...
You know, a lot of critics, as well as the readers of the story, love to side with Mama. They think she's a lot more, they just think her idea of heritage
like humble
is
and more
exactly
close to home.
Yeah, but then where does that leave Dee, too? Is she just the stuck-up snob that everybody wants to make her, or is she more than that?
Well, another thing that I'm seeing while we're just talking about this is that people talk about the relationship Mama has with her kids, and also how Walker characterized Mama and Maggie and Dee. How Dee...
Like, which personalities does she have? Does she, or well, if Mama is this thing, and does she act more like Dee, or does she act more like Mama?
Or is she a little bit of both?
Yeah.
We get that from all different critics.
Yeah.
And also critics look at Walker in regards to Maggie because of her BB gun accident during her youth, making her scarring her, like how Maggie is scarred.
That's another interesting that a lot of critics look at, is that how does Walker fall into